Alright guys, Scrappy again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Shotzzy's given his perspective on the FaZe blow-up going into the 2026 season, surprised at the directions these players have taken, revealing he actually expected the Tiny Terrorists to stay together, Drazah go to Falcons, and Cellium potentially go to Thieves. None of those things have transpired in the way that Shotzzy expected. Is that a good or a bad thing for all of these respective teams involved? Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I greatly appreciate it. Plenty to get into today on the Cellium's Falcons stuff that we'll get into a little bit more detail in a second. Thought it was interesting to look at this from Brian's stats. FaZe Call of Duty records before Cellium came along. The most events played for the org was Zuma with 38. The most wins with the org was Zuma and Attach as a duo with that organization at 4. Most finals appearances went to Zuma with 7. Highest KD event was Clay with a 1.33. Highest finals KD was Zuma with a 1.66, and they'd won 0 World Championships. After the Cellium era is over, after the last 6 years of play, unfortunately for Zuma, for Clay, or for Attach, none of those numbers stand anymore. Some of those numbers are pretty impressive, but yeah, not in comparison to what Cella's been up to. So we surpassed Zuma by 5 events, of course, way surpassed with Simp and aBeZy in terms of wins, and in terms of finals appearances, he had a 1.43, I think that was at the Esports World Cup last year, highest KD event, and even the highest KD in the finals, he said a 1.72, and of course won a World Championship along the way. So quite the record. Will Cellium stay at Falcons for another 6 years? Pretty unlikely, it's got to be said, and for multiple reasons. And will Cell be able to continue having some of the success that he has had? Because despite the success that Cell has had, there's been criticism on his play and his level at times, and whether he should be winning more than he has done. Is Falcons a destination for that? Time will tell, but the money was certainly right. There is not much doubt about that one. Now, speaking of Cell's former teammate in Simp, there was a couple of funny things going around. Borderlands 4 was happening. He also just exposed this guy. I don't know what this original tweet said here in the replies, but Simp basically tweeted this out, and I just thought it was pretty funny, so I thought I'd just share it real quick. Okay, it's kind of unfortunate this guy got exposed like this, but whatever, it's in the public domain now, so it is what it is. So anyway, Simp says, keep talking to yourself. He's got this guy retained in his DMs. Don't leave us, bro, please. Don't go to Falcons or FaZe. Don't leave FaZe Twin. And don't tell me free agent tweet soon. Who are we getting? Don't tell me it's not Mamba, bro. No shot. What are we thinking? Who do you want to play with? If I've got to dig for oil money, right? So, I don't care. I'll rob the Federal Reserve for you, bro. Please be joking. Tell me you're all trolling us. I won't leak, please. I can't believe, he actually thought Simp was going to tell him something, which is pretty funny. Don't leave us for OpTic. Yeah, wow, I forgot when that was a time. People were actually thinking about that. So, I guess it's cool that Simp's like, damn, this guy, super passionate, right? This guy's absolute diehard FaZe fan. Please be basic, as it's supposed to be you and aBeZy forever. So, pretty sad, I guess, in that respect, that they are indeed parting ways. Brother, you said the only way you'll split is if something seriously wrong happens. What happens? But, they just bombed out the 2 biggest tournaments of the year. Not massive surprises. aBeZy chose Joe over you, bro. So, wow, this guy was going through it when all these rumors were going on. I'm not going to read through every single message anyway, but I'll just quickly scroll through because this is all rather entertaining. What about Octane? Is a pretty funny comment. How long are you guys going to troll us? Are you announcing aBeZy tomorrow? This is, of course, at the 1st of August, and all these things are kind of happening around. What could I do to get you the best team? Is so funny. I'll do whatever it takes. This is when the rumor was happening, right, about Rencor, Drazah, Simp, and aBeZy, or that wasn't the rumor actually, but it was, I'm not sure exactly what the rumor was, but it was certainly that they were interested in Rencor. That was one of the ideas. So you repeated that a few times. Don't let them give you Abuzah and 04, brother, which is pretty funny because that's when the rumors started to emerge, of course, around about this time. He was giving his suggestions for Rencor, Drazah, Simp, and aBeZy as an idea. But are you making the choices? Is 04 and Abuzah who you really want? Are you playing the flex? Man, this guy was going at it day after day. The tweets never ended. So anyway, there you go. Top 4 all year. Abuzah and 04 aren't enough. Vanguard again, second all year long. The team is awful. You're not him. That's when he did the comment, didn't he? He said, I'm him or whatever. So this is highly entertaining content. I can even go full screen for the last couple of bits. Anyway, there you you go. He gets to the end. They're giving you FaZe. Don't leave for Falcons next year. I'll hunt you down to the end of the earth. So help me God. I don't know. Reading through this, it kind of reminded me of, you know, that Eminem song Stan. On top of Thank You by Dido. Like, it's, I don't know. I just thought it was pretty entertaining, really. But yes, it does appear that Simp's team may well be locked in. I've got a clip to share, actually, of him coming into contact with a random in ranked, which is pretty funny. And we're pretty sure that aBeZy is on the move as well. And we think that's going to be the roster at that. But of course, that individual there had his thoughts on the roster and whether it's going to be any good or not. Simp's clearly pretty confident that he can make it work regardless. And look, it's not like Ofer and Abuzah didn't make a hell of a lot of finals the most recent season. Clearly, players with an awful lot of upside. Is it ever going to be, on paper, the team that we have just seen FaZe have over the last couple of years? On paper, it was impossible to upgrade from that, no doubt. But still, Simp's confident that they can make it work. Now, Shotzzy reveals that as far as he is aware, as far as he's concerned, pretty surprised the way that FaZe went. He thought that Simp and aBeZy would probably stick it out. They haven't. He thought that Cellium would go to Thieves. He hasn't. And he thought that Drazah would go to Falcons. And that's not happened either.
That guy's angry. Yo, Navi. I've with the 2 months. Thank you, bro. Good calamity.
Damn, Simp, no wonder aBeZy and fucking Cellium left your bum ass.
Yeah, bro, you're the greatest, bro. Keep hacking. Literally watching kill cams. You pre-fire me around corner. It's all good though.
You got fucking carried by aBeZy and Cell your whole career, little nigga.
Yeah, I'm sure, bro. There's literally one before Cell, but all good. Yeah, keep it up, bro. You're terrible. Yeah, bro. You're nobody. Rank creeps, bro. Shit's insane.
Dude, what the fuck is this? Drazah officially re-signs with Atlanta FaZe? I did not see that coming. I thought he was for sure gone.
You're chilling.
Huh?
Yeah, you actually thought he was good?
Yeah.
Like, actually?
Yeah.
I actually thought whenever, like, they lost or whatever, I thought they were all going to break up.
Just like everybody goes to
I thought they were just going to get the odd man out, which was him.
Yeah,
that's what I would have done. No disrespect, but
I thought, the way that I thought it was going to play out, I thought Zach was going to go to Falcons.
Yeah, me too.
And then I thought Cell was going to go to LA Thieves. I thought aBeZy, I don't know what it'd be like.
I thought aBeZy was the Falcons guy.
Oh, like they would.
I thought that they were gonna go after aBeZy.
Yeah, team. Team shit
I guess
hilarious.
I just thought aBeZy and someone.
What is team shit?
Yeah, because I was just at Nades with Scrap and Envoy. They were like talking and shit, like they were teammates. And I was like, "How they teammates no more?"
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Wait, what?
Bro.
For Nation?
They were like talking like, you know, like we gotta figure this shit out.
Wait, the one night that we went to for Matt's birthday?
Yeah, the whole time Scrap was probably plotting. Like, shit's hilarious, bro.
I think probably. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
At that time, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but like
they probably didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't know what they wanted.
It was just funny as hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, aBeZy like.
Oh, he's packing his shit.
Yo, he's hella packing. He's hella trying to give me low key too.
He's ready to go.
Yo, this shit is hilarious.
He took down the posters and everything.
He's hella trying to give me low key.
What's funny is he probably didn't even realize, like, oh shit, they probably didn't even know all my shit's gone behind me.
No, but I mean, I think at this point, like everybody knows that everybody knows, so he knows that everybody knows.
Yeah, that shit's great though.
Right?
Nah, yeah. That's funny, dude.
I wonder where he was going. All right, move on.
Bo's always entertaining on these, and he reveals again a pretty interesting story. He went around Nade's house, and Scrap and Envoy were there, kind of talking about, like, who do we want to get? Who do we want to get rid of? What's going to be the plan? Because you guys remember the early days when, of this WrestleMania period, the initial rumor was Thieves were going to stick it out. Then there was a rumor that actually, no, they're looking to potentially replace Ghosty. They're looking for a one-for-one swap there. Probably for Cellium was their primary target. Drazah could on paper have been a good option, but we know that with the scrap situation, that's never going to happen anytime soon. So that was off the table. So Drazah was not going to happen. Cellium, we think, was the guy that they wanted, and there was initially talk about, okay, maybe minus Ghosty plus Cell. It was actually a little while later that the rumors started to emerge that they were contemplating getting rid of Envoy as well. So, yeah, pretty funny that Bose maybe was at this party and Scrap and Envoy were talking about their new team, what they were going to do. Maybe with Scrap having a thought in the back of his mind that maybe I'm just going to drop this guy as well. Maybe Scrap didn't make the sole decision. To our understanding, the team wanted to do some things, even from, let's say, the managerial perspective, and it's not like Scrap and HyDra were particularly opposed. That's one way of looking at it. But Drazah was never going to go there anyway, so Cellium was a realistic possibility. It's just, even if Thieves gave him a good offer, the Falcons bag was probably just way too much to refuse, almost regardless of some of the other circumstances that may have swayed his decision. I do wonder, Shotzzy's thoughts on Drazah potentially to the Falcons, what would that have looked like, right? So, okay, I thought that aBeZy was going to go to the Falcons. I agree with Hex when he said, because that was the big rumor even before the World Cup, that aBeZy was a target. Actually, I thought made kind of a lot of sense. But in the end, Thieves wanted aBeZy instead. It seems like that was going to happen, but if Drazah went to Falcons, what would they have done with the rest of their team? Because Pred and Xnid were not going anywhere at all. They're actually staying on the subs. So Drazah would, have gone to that team as the flex, supposedly. And then, would they have got Cellium as well? Because right now, they've got Cellium as their main. What do you guys think about that team? Cell and Draz, bringing them straight over from FaZe, and then Pred and Xnid. But in Shotzzy's theoretical scenario, Cellium would have gone to Thieves. So it would have been Drazah looking for one as an AR. What AR would they have gone and got in that scenario? I mean, Sib was maybe an option in there somewhere, but, we're not so sure that Sib wanted to go because he was apparently concerned that they were going to drop him next year for Scrappy. Maybe that still happens, so he's decided to go to Gentlemates instead. It's a very interesting question, but intrigued to your thoughts on the comments. I thought it was funny they mentioned this as well, aBeZy on the move. As we've mentioned, though, over the last couple of days, there is a belief that aBeZy is going to go to Texas regardless, because I think that the FaZe guys are probably relocating there anyway. It actually makes a lot of sense. We know that FaZe are leaving Atlanta. We believe they're going to be FaZe Vegas or whatever for the upcoming season. Most of the players want to, and it makes sense from like a money perspective and everything, financial perspective, to live in Texas for the players and also probably for the organization as well. They could go and live in Vegas, right? But it's pretty unlikely. So it looks like Atlanta is no more. So effectively aBeZy would be moving to Texas regardless, but if he is going to Thieves, then they're also based in Texas right now as well, as are many of the other top contenders. So that is the likely scenario as it stands. I think it's interesting that Simp, he made that comment in the Twitch chat and was like, look, I'm him, don't worry about my roster, it's going to be great. Clearly his biggest fan in his DMs was not so convinced this is the roster that will do the job. And Shotzzy's kind of surprised that Drazah is still there, but in light of aBeZy leaving, I think it makes sense to keep Drazah around. I rate Drazah very highly. I actually think this team is very interesting to me to see what FaZe could do. As I say, it's probably not going to be called Atlanta FaZe anymore, and things are going to change quite substantially. Is it good enough to compete with the real top dogs? I think possibly, but maybe not quite on the consistent level that they would have previously had with their recent roster. Look, as we know, that FaZe team over the last few years, the ceiling was number one, and the floor for a good period of that time was third, like fourth, maybe at a push. Yeah, they had a couple of results in there that were worse, but FaZe's floor was the highest of any team, like, ever, I think. With the roster that featured the trio, this team's floor, I think, will undoubtedly be lower than that. The question is whether the ceiling is still the same and whether they can get there anywhere near enough to cause a serious threat in the upcoming season. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.